I used to believe that becoming a millionaire was this impossible dream that only really happened for celebrities or people who just got lucky. But after leaving my 60K a year dead-end job and making over 7 million in my business, I realized the strategies that actually work are so much simpler than most people think. And so if I had to start from scratch today, here are the 3 steps I'd take to get there twice as fast. Step 1, choose the right business model. And there's one model that I'm going to recommend you start with because so many people overcomplicate starting a business. They think they need to invent the next iPhone or open a brick and mortar store with a big lease on it and tons of overhead. But honestly, the easiest place to start is something called a knowledge-based business. What does that mean? It means that you are selling someone a solution to a problem using the knowledge and training or life experience that you already have. And so what's really good about this is that you don't need overhead. You don't need a warehouse. You don't need inventory. You don't need some big fancy tech setup. You just need something that you know how to help someone with. So let me give you an example. I have a client of mine who is an author and a book editor. And so she already had the knowledge about writing books. So she took the knowledge she already had, writing and editing, and turned it into book coaching, where she helps her clients finish their books. So she didn't go out and invent something brand new here. She just packaged what she already knew, and now she makes around $15,000 a month helping aspiring authors get their book finished. I have another client of mine who had been a nurse for over 10 years. And after navigating all the ups and downs of the profession, she realized she had a real gift for helping other nurses advance their careers and increase their income. And so she decided to start a coaching business teaching nurses how to leverage their skills and create new opportunities and build financial freedom. Now, instead of being stuck in this exhausting hospital job where she was working 12-hour shifts on her feet, she's earning consistent income from home while helping other nurses thrive and do what they love. And see, that's the beauty of a knowledge-based business. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting with what you already know. And there's always someone out there who will gladly pay for the shortcut that your knowledge provides for them. People don't want more and more information. They want someone who's been there and someone who's done it and someone that can guide them through it faster and easier. So instead of thinking that you need to build a really big product-based business or figure out how to trade your time for dollars selling your services and a ton of sessions, just ask yourself, what do I already know that could solve a problem for somebody else? This is the easiest entry point into entrepreneurship and financial freedom. And you know what's really wild is that people completely overlook the skills and the experience that they already have. And here's why. The things that feel easy to you don't feel easy to other people. But because it comes naturally to you and you've learned how to do it and it's easy for you now, you don't even realize how valuable it is. Think about it. Maybe you've learned how to organize your finances in a way that feels really effortless now, or you've learned how to meal prep for your family of 5 without losing your mind. Maybe you have a knack for helping friends rewrite their resumes so they land lots of job interviews. So to you, this is no big deal. You probably don't even think of it twice about it. But to somebody else, that exact thing that you do so easily could be life-changing. And the hardest part about creating a business is not the tech, it's not the price, it's actually just stopping long enough to think, what do I know that someone else doesn't know that could really help someone? And see, most people skip that step because honestly, thinking is harder than doing. It's easier to keep ourselves busy working on a lot of things that don't move the needle. But sitting down and really reflecting on what we have to give and what would actually work, that's the hard part. So here's what I want you to do right now. Grab a notebook or a piece of paper and write down these 3 questions. What do people come to me for over and over again? These are things people have asked you about a lot. Think about this. What feels so easy that I would feel guilty charging? So it feels easy. Like you'd almost feel guilty charging someone for it because it's just so easy to you, helping people with that. What's something that I've solved for myself that other people are struggling with? What have I solved for myself? If you think about these questions and you actually spend time coming up with answers to this is where your first knowledge-based business offer comes from. And remember, just because it feels easy for you doesn't mean it's easy for them. That's exactly why it's valuable. Here's what's so cool about creating a digital product, an offer, or a course. You make it once and it keeps paying you over and over again. For example, my consistent customer script pack. Okay, I created this once, I sat down, I put together all of the scripts that I had tested already and refined over years of my own trial and error, and not just with me, but with my clients. And then I packaged it up in a neat, easy to digest format so that once it's done, the work's done. And so now every single month, people buy this over and over and over and over again. But I'm not making it over and over again. And see, this is the magic of a knowledge-based business. You're not out there trading your hours for dollars anymore. You're not running yourself ragged trying to fulfill a service and then another service and another service. You are simply taking something that you already know, something you've lived, tested, or figured out, and turning it into a solution someone else needs. And the beautiful thing is it doesn't have to be complicated. My script pack is literally just me saying, here's what I've already done 100 times, here's what works. That knowledge, which came from real experience, turned into a product that makes money while I sleep. Now imagine that whatever you know, maybe you figured out how to meal prep for the whole family in 2 hours, or maybe you've cracked the code on building a morning routine that actually sticks, or you've helped your friends organize their finances or declutter their homes. That's all knowledge, all of that experience. And people will pay for it if it solves their problem faster and easier than they can do it themselves. And so when you think about starting a business, don't overcomplicate it. Don't think you need a big, fancy invention. Just look at what you already know how to do and realize that knowledge is worth something. And then package it, share it, and let it start working for you the same way, for example, my script pack works for me or any of my other offers work. Okay? Now, I want to pause here because this is where most people get tripped up. Most people who want to start generating wealth quickly think they need to start with something that is low ticket, like $10, $20, and then eventually work their way up to premium pricing because it feels safer, right? Like, let me just start small until I feel ready. But here's the truth. That's actually backwards. Why? Because selling low ticket requires an enormous amount of volume. You need thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of people to say yes just to hit your income goal. And if you don't already have a massive audience in the beginning, it's going to feel like you're constantly on a hamster wheel trying to find people. On the other hand, when you start with a higher value offer, you need fewer people to actually say yes to the offer. So I'm going to break this down for you in a really simple, easy to understand numbers equation. So let's say that I'm going to start creating my offer and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make money with it. How much should I charge? This is where most people need to lean in because everybody I know asks, how do I actually make $1 million? And honestly, it sounds really complicated when you say it out loud, but once you break it down, it's just multiplication. So basically, we're talking about fifth grade math right now. So let me show you how easily this works. I call this the $1 million math map. So if you have a $10 digital product, maybe something like a template or a bundle of some sort, maybe a mini course, some swipe files. We talked about my scripts, for example. That's an example of a digital product. So if you wanted to make $1 million with your $10 digital product, you would need to sell 100,000 of those digital products, right? $10 times 100,000 would get you your $1 million business. Now, if you have 100,000 people already in line who would love to buy from you, maybe that's a great model for you. But for most of us who are starting, we don't know 100,000 people who want to buy our products, okay? It's totally possible, but it's a lot of traffic. You need a big audience, a lot of moving parts here. Now, let's shift it. Let's say instead of creating a $10 product, you created a $1,000 product. Maybe you created some type of course for $1,000. Now, instead of 100,000 people, you only need 1,000 buyers. So just count the zeros, fifth grade math. That's $1 million business. Okay. It's better than 100,000 buyers, but if you're anything like me in the beginning, I didn't even have 1,000 people, right? So you might be thinking, how am I supposed to sell all of that product in 1 year? And so this is why I recommend creating something that is very high value and premium in the beginning. So for example, let's say you created a $10,000 product. Now you've got this offer, a $10,000 premium offer. Maybe it's a mastermind, maybe something done for you. Maybe it's something really high level. Now you only need 100 buyers to have $1 million business. That's it. In an entire calendar year, 100 yeses. You could fit all of them into an entire hotel ballroom. That's less than 10 in an entire calendar month to make $1,000,000. But that's the $1,000,000 math map. It shows you that there isn't just one way to $1,000,000. There's different roads to get there. You just have to figure out which math you want to do. Do you want to find 100,000 buyers this year? Or do you want to start with 100 buyers because nobody knows about you in the beginning? It's the same destination, different routes. And here's the thing that most people don't realize. If you're just getting started, it's so much easier to serve fewer people than it is to sell a lot of people at scale. And so if you're selling something cheap to 100,000 strangers on the internet, the level of quality and attention that you can give to those people is going to be much more watered down. So when you zoom out, the math is really simple. The only decision that you have to make is, which road am I going down on this map here? For many of you, you could replace your entire full-time income with one sale per month. How many of you are starting to see how simple the math is? When you have a premium offer, you don't need to be famous on the internet. You don't need a lot of people to buy from you. This is why it's so much easier to start with a smaller number of customers and serve them with a really premium product in the beginning than trying to sell to the masses. So let's talk about the mental model of millions. Here's where most people get tripped up. It's not the math. The math is easy. It's basically counting zeros. The hard part is, what do I really think about rich people? Because if deep down you believe rich people are greedy, shallow, selfish, or that they had to step on other people to get there, your brain is never going to let you become that person. This is one of the biggest reasons people never create premium offers, because your brain wants to protect you from becoming someone that you think is fundamentally wrong, something you despise. Think about it. If my brain is telling me rich people are greedy, then the second I start making a lot of money quickly, I'm going to unconsciously sabotage myself, because who wants to wear the label greedy? I don't. You don't. So then we stop, we hesitate, we shrink back, we resist all of the success without even realizing that's what's going on. I would argue almost all of us were taught some kind of negative story about rich people growing up. Things like rich people only care about themselves. They must have gotten lucky. They're only rich because they did something shady. It must be really nice, but people like us don't have all that. See, all of those phrases dig deep into our subconscious and stay there. And then unless we actually sit and clean them up, they'll keep running the show the entire time we try to figure out how to create financial freedom. So let's flip the script on that. What if instead of believing rich people are greedy, we started saying things like rich people are generous, rich people create opportunities, rich people are problem solvers, rich people take responsibility, rich people fund the future. Those are all really powerful beliefs that you could adopt. If one of those lines actually resonates with you, I'd love for you to type it in the comments. Which one is the one that you want to believe about people who make a lot of money? Because here's the truth. Money doesn't change who you are. It magnifies who you are. If you're generous and heart-driven when you're broke, guess what? You're going to be even more kind, more generous, and more heart-driven with resources. Let me give you some real-world examples. So no, rich people are not automatically greedy. Rich people are resourced, rich people are responsible, rich people are resourced to make a difference. And so here's the biggest mic drop. You will never become what you secretly despise. If you hate rich people, your subconscious will make sure you never become one, because you don't want to hate yourself. And so the first step in the mental model to millions is to make peace with wealth. To say it's safe for me to be rich. Being wealthy doesn't make me greedy. It makes me more generous. Wealth doesn't change my character. It magnifies it. Drop your version of that in the comments. What's the number one negative belief you've carried about rich people that you're letting go of? And what new belief are you going to adopt? What are you going to replace it with? Because until we reframe how we see wealth and the people who have it, we will keep resisting it. Wealth will always be at arm's length. But the second that you shift this mental model, the math starts working for you. Here's the next problem that we have to solve though. Most people aren't sitting on piles of cash when they start a business. So if you don't have money stashed under your mattress and you're not sure how to actually start without it, it's exactly what I cover in this next video. Click it over here to watch it now. I'll see you over there.